This is Warri, otherwise known as the Oil City, because of its oil reserves and the presence of several oil companies. It is a town with obvious strategic importance to the nation. Warri is a coastal town located in the present Delta State, inhabited largely by three ethnic groups: the Shekiris, the Urhobos, and the Ijaws, with other local and immigrant ethnic groups making up for the entire population. The Shekiris, Urhobos, and Ijaws have lived together as brothers and sisters and have intermarried for ages. However, when it comes to the issue of land ownership and the area of control of the Olu of Warri, the ethnic groups do not see eye to eye, as they consider the Olu, who is officially the town's monarch, as just another leader of a subgroup in the town. This has led to strains in the relationship between the various ethnic groups, which has resulted in court cases and at times violent clashes that have in turn led to the loss of lives and property. Following government's recent creation of Warri South local government area with headquarters at Ogbijo and the subsequent relocation of the headquarters to Ogidigbe and the renaming of the council from Warri South to Warri Southwest, the stage seems set once more for another showdown between the ethnic groups. The Ijaws in Warri, who thought they now had their own council with headquarters in their own town, Ogbijo, had their victory dance cut short by the relocation exercise, while the Shekiris felt the federal government had corrected an error by the same exercise. Chief Edwin Clark, a former Minister for Information and Ijaw leader, and J.O.S. Ayomike, and Shekiri, a historian and author of the book The Ijaw in Warri, a study in ethnography, explains the feelings of the two ethnic groups.
How do you therefore expect an Ijaw man, an Urhobo man, and a Shekiri man sitting in a council, one man speaking Shekiri language and the other don't understand? This goes to the fact that they cannot work together in one local government. It is because the Olu wants to dominate the Urhobos and the Ijaws in Warri. Hence, they now say some Shekiris be in this council, some Shekiris be in this council with the Ijaws, some Shekiris be in this council with the Urhobos, so that the Olu will have an overriding power. Because he now says, my people are there, my people are there, my people are there. We say, no, we can no longer be with the Shekiris in the same council. That's our stand.
I know that the Ijaw in Delta State have got three local governments in their homeland. And the Shekiri in their Warri homeland have got three local governments. The Urhobo have 8 or 9 in their homeland, and the Isoko have 2. So I don't see any crisis. In this recent exercise, Warri North, that had 11 wards, was in error, split into two local government areas. I say in error because one local government had just 2 wards, Ogbijo and Baramatu. These were the 2 wards that were in error, constituted into a local government. Then the Shekiri called the attention of the federal government to this error, and a committee was set up by the federal government which looked into the error and got it rectified in March. So what we find now is that in place of the 2-ward local government, there is now a 5-ward local government. And Ogidigbe is equidistant from the 2 farthest points of this new local government area.
The military administrator of Delta State, Colonel John Dung, in reaction to accusations that government fueled the crisis by its seeming partisan role, on separate occasions gave reasons for government actions and reiterated government's neutrality in the entire episode.
Before I came in here, they had done all the delineation of wards. That's before I took over. That had been completed, and it was based on that, I guess, that then the local government were then created. And when a case was put forward to the federal government, I think the federal government looked into it and now said the local government has to be relocated and other councils added to the former south, which is now southwest. Government does not favor any side. Government tries to look at the problems from all angles and put them squarely, invite all the various community leaders and dialogue over the issues so that eventually they can carry the message back to the communities. And this is essentially what the government has been doing.
The decision to relocate the headquarters from the Ijaw town of Ogbijo to the Shekiri town of Ogidigbe, announced on the 17th of March by Colonel Dung, was greeted by protests from the Ijaws, and before long, violence and mayhem had erupted as people were killed and properties destroyed. The first victims were oil installations belonging to Shell Development Company, SPDC, and Chevron. Rampaging youths had forced the installations to shut down and taken a total of 127 hostages who were released days later. By the 24th of March, the crisis had crept into Warri Township as some stores in Pesu and Ogbijo markets were set ablaze. Later, the residence of Chief Edwin Clark and Ijaw was also torched. A Mitsubishi bus, a 504 Peugeot, and Chief Clark's night guard, Mr. Emeka Ndukwe, were burned in the attack.
Well, the Chikris were after me. They did not go there merely to burn my house. They were after two things: to take my life and to burn my documents, which had become a source of worry to them, how I get my facts and so on. But God made it. That very day, I was invited to Asaba, and I left my house in the night, even though the Chekris thought I was still inside, because they phoned through to find out what I was in. And when they were told that I was in, it was sufficient for them to come and do the attack. They came, there were about 200. They got a lorry load from Sapele. People came from Koko, and with those in Warri, they came with very sophisticated weapons. So they attacked it, the two houses, they burnt them down, burnt my vehicles down, fired at them, and both the AIG and the Commissioner of Police saw the type of bullets used. And they said they were very sophisticated and it could be called Mark 4. It could be the type of they call Mark 4. I had 16 people in the house, my children, my nephews, my nieces, and some of my workers, my personal assistants. They were there. So 16 of them were in the place when the place got burnt. And when they said, Chief Clark, come out and fight. You said you're a strong man. We're not talking about court cases and so on.
The Shekiris also suffered some losses. During a visit by the state administrator to Diolu in his palace, Diolu gave an account of some of the losses of his people.
Up to now, my Excellency, the situation, my office was burnt. Nothing about it, no news about it. Bennett Island was burnt on Monday. I hope I'm right, I think that was it. Yeah. It was burnt, nobody took something, nothing was said about it. And up till now, my Excellency, over 50 boats contained my people. God knows how many hundreds in there. Nothing is said about them. Till now, you cannot get to Escravos or pass through. These people are still missing. We keep hearing about Shell. We sympathize with Shell. And there are people being released. We sympathize with them. Nobody is happy about the situation. But till now, you cannot get to Escravos. My people are missing. These boats are seized. 50 boats not released. I have a personal boat among those seized. Nothing is hard about it. My Excellency, we are praying, sir, that help us, sir. You've started on a good footing, you've announced the curfew, we are grateful. You've hit on the law, which is the rule of law, we are really grateful, sir. Just help us, Your Excellency, to push a little bit further. Whatever cooperation you want from us, we promise to have cooperation. We are not involved. No sheltering, we are not involved. I can still say till tomorrow we are not involved. In spite of what publication people are putting up. Like I said, it's not that I've been beaten. That's not the cause of the fight. We did not fight. We are not involved.
Ijala is a riverine village inhabited by Shekiris. It was also attacked and two people, Dato AB aged 115 years and Atiwo AB aged 72, were killed.
What you can see behind me now is destruction, mayhem definitely has taken place here, and this village at this time is completely deserted except for a couple of goats and chickens left to reside in Ijala community.
These villagers survived the attack.
Where they come for afternoon, I see them.
When they come for night?
Where they come for night at their house. Before I just come out now, they say, hold on, now they shoot me. Before I enter water, now I pleasant. I walk across finish, I see them there. Before they pack all the things where they my house, pack my brother, put fire, across they look with them.
So, now soon reach here,
me, where the time where we jump inside the water. I know say we they cross the river quick. Now we enter the bush there. Now from bush they look with them. That time then they shoot gun for the town before they come put fire for the place. I see them that they go down, they look with them.
Day for yesterday. Now you all sleep inside house. When I sleep house now, I hear my aunt when they shout. So making people come will say, you don't enter with town, we'll come fight you. So my senior sister went and killed, so in Peking. He born two Peking for hand. My sister, if he come out. Now run similar go help the girl carry the Peking. And then take us, say make I lie down, then I lie down. He take us, he broke my wood and my waist.
Following the attacks and counter-attacks, the state government, March 28, imposed a dusk to dawn curfew.
The government has imposed curfew on Warri town to avoid arson and looting with yesterday night. That will continue till we are sure that tempers will have cooled down completely, then we can lift the embargo or the restriction of movement.
Well, it has affected my business personally. I cannot go out and buy things the way I want to buy. I cannot do my business in a free mind. In fact, we are afraid of even staying now in Warri. In the evening, you are worried, hurried. You are trying to hurry home so that you beat up the coffee in town.
But my senior brother selling suya. So now their market is from 7 o'clock in the evening to around 11. But now there's coffee. So they can't sell anything. They just said I'm the one sitting there now.
The extent of this coffee, I think the aim has been defeated because Warri per se is not where this coffee would have been proper. The riverine. The government should go to riverine areas. They are killing people day in, day out. The government knows what to do. They have the naval patrol team, they have the army men, they have the policemen. Send them to the creeks. Not here. You are just doing these things for nothing. Bringing coffee here where it's supposed not to be.
Even though the present fighting seems to be between the Jaws and the Shekiris, the rebels are watching cautiously as events unfold. Chief Benjamin Okumaba, the Otota of Okere and a rebel leader, declares that the rebels are together with the Jaws against the Shekiris.
The present crisis, which is allegedly said to be between the Ijos and the Shakiris, is not quite so. The crisis is between Urhobos, Ijos on one side and the Shakiris on the other side. The only difference is that it started at the river on the riverine in the riverine area, and so they started fighting in the riverine area where the Shakiris claim to own everything. They own the air, they own the sea, they own the land, everything, and they were routed and driven from where they claim to own by the Ijos. Then they moved into the land here. But the root cause is the perennial problem that has been in existence in Warri. It's a perennial. That idea of the Olu and the Shakiri people claiming to be the owners, the exclusive owners of Warri, is the root cause of the problem.
In fact, following the burning of Chief Clark's residence in Warri Township, Urhobo leaders led by Chief Okumagba paid him a solidarity visit in his Kiagbodo country home. As the fighting continues, the use of firearms by the warring communities continues to give the government cause for concern. During a visit by the Chief of Naval Staff, Rear Admiral Mike Ahibe, to assess the situation firsthand, he wondered why the Navy and the police in the area have still not impounded the arms being used by the warring communities.
How come? How did they get these arms? I actually came here because I think some of us are foreseeing maybe the program will give the right to the wrong method. Nobody, I want to be very clear, nobody will ever accept that the government is agreed to take up arms. It's looking for trouble. Because once you take arms against your neighbor, nobody is going to accept it. So if you have anything, I think it's important you as leaders will call your people to advise them. And those who are supplying the arms, they should know that they are going on the very wrong course. The law in this country does not allow any individual to bear arms unless it is authorized.
The Delta State Police Commissioner, Mr. Morrison Evanson, says how the warring communities get their arms is still a mystery to the police.
Clashes have been between the three major groups. To be frank, how they got the arms is a mystery. But
the commanding officer of NNS Umaluko, Warri, Navy Captain Ekpeyong Ita, says his men are studying the situation and will soon launch an offensive to recover the arms.
What baffles me is the caliber of weapons these boys are having, because these are mainly military weapons, and they're being used in the creeks and the bushes. The situation is so difficult that we have to take it easy and comb the bush in order to get the armory where these weapons are hid. So what I think we'll do is that after this hostility, we'll be able to do something about it, to get where these weapons are being kept. And until we do this, I'll get to the root of the matter, that is getting these weapons from them. We may be having this often.
Meanwhile, Chief Edwin Clark says the only solution to the crisis is for government to implement the 1993 report of the Justice Nnaemeka Agu Commission, which recommended 3 local government areas for the 3 ethnic groups in Warri.
Governments cannot shy away from doing what is right and what would bring peace and stability to its own area of jurisdiction. The struggle will continue. Constitutionally, I don't want bloodshed, I don't want violence, but we will fight for our rights, and the Olu will be pinned down to Shekiri land. Ijos will regard themselves as Ijo people. The robots in Warri will say, we are robots. And there must be 3 local government councils created for the 3 ethnic groups as recommended by Justice Nnameka Agu's report. That is the position. Unless this is done, no Nigerian should be a slave under another Nigerian. The South African fought for it. I don't care what happens to some of us, the sacrifices we make, like my house. Mandela today was detained for 27 years in Robben Island. He came out to be the president of South Africa today. Nobody wants injustice. We are in Nigeria. We are Nigerians, equal status. The moment one person wants to suppress the other person, he will fight back.
However, JOS Ayomike disagrees with the concept of 3 local government areas for the 3 groups. To him, Warri is the homeland of the Shekiris, and therefore the Ijos and Robos are tenants and cannot aspire to having their own local government areas within the Warri area.
All history say that Warri homeland is Shekiri homeland. All intelligence report says that. And over the last 30 years, some Ijo leaders who had thought that they were that Warri was part of Ijo homeland went to court. And I tell you, all the competent courts in the land, to the Supreme Court, have adjudicated on every inch of land in Warri homeland. Justice Agu's recommendation to me is as dead as the dodo. It's a dead issue. Justice Agu was thinking of splitting homeland, going back to apartheid South Africa. But it's dead because the government rejected it in its white paper. So anybody talking about Justice Agu report as though it were alive, it sounds to me ridiculous.
The Urobos do not agree with Ayomike's submission, and they feel one local government per ethnic group would solve the problem of ethnic rivalry in Warri.
From 1952, when the title of Olu of Shekiri was changed to Olu of Warri. That's the beginning, that's the root cause. Now, if you want to remove the root cause, you have to make the different people have that sense of belonging. Create one local government for each, at least each of the 3 ethnic groups in Warri local government area. The moment that is done, then the root cause would have been removed.
Already, there are peace moves being initiated from different quarters. It is hoped that in the spirit of the Delta State slogan, which is Delta State, the big heart for love, the warring communities will embrace peace. The federal government, on its part, should take into account the aspirations of each of the feuding groups while trying to resolve the crisis.